The Enchanted Depths, a journey into the secret world beneath the sea. The sun was setting, casting an amber glow over the calm surface of the ocean. As I found myself standing at the edge of a rocky cliff, mesmerized by the vastness of the sea. It was an invitation to explore what lay beyond the horizon. But my curiosity wasn't just about the surface, it was about what was beneath. What mysteries and wonders lay hidden in the depths of the ocean? That night, I set out on a journey that would take me to the most magical, alien, and mind-boggling world on Earth, the sea life under the ocean. The moment I submerged into the water, it felt as though I had crossed into another dimension. The light from the setting sun filtered down, casting shimmering rays into the crystal-clear water, illuminating the entrance to a vibrant new world. The shallow coral reefs were the first to greet me, bustling with life. I hovered just above the reef, watching colorful schools of fish dart between the coral formations. There were angelfish with bright yellow and blue patterns, clownfish weaving in and out of sea anemones, and parrotfish whose beaks seemed to nibble away at the coral like living chisels. The corals themselves were alive, pulsing with color and texture. Did you know that coral reefs, often referred to as the rainforests of the sea, are made up of tiny living organisms called polyps? These tiny creatures form massive colonies over hundreds of years, creating structures that are home to nearly 25% of all marine life. The reef is a living, breathing city, with organisms dependent on one another in an intricate web of survival. As I ventured further from the reef, the water grew darker and the temperature cooler. Here, in the open ocean, the creatures were larger and more elusive. Suddenly, a shadow passed overhead. It was a sea turtle, gracefully gliding through the water with effortless strokes of its flippers. Sea turtles are one of the oldest living creatures on Earth, with ancestors dating back over 110 million years. Watching it move, I was reminded of how sea turtles can travel thousands of miles during their lifetimes, crossing entire oceans, yet returning to the same beach where they were born to lay their eggs. Not far from the turtle, a school of silver sardines moved in perfect unison, shimmering like a living mirror. Their synchronized movements were mesmerizing, a perfect example of collective behavior in the animal kingdom. Sardines schooled to avoid predators, confusing them with their numbers and rapid direction changes. But just as I marveled at their coordination, a dolphin streaked through the water, cutting through the school with precision. Dolphins, known for their intelligence, use echolocation to hunt and communicate, sending out sound waves that bounce back to reveal the exact location of their prey. I watched as the dolphins skillfully chased a few sardines, then broke the surface with a playful leap. Deeper still, the colors around me began to fade. The sunlight could no longer reach these depths, and I had entered the twilight zone of the ocean where light is scarce, and life has adapted in remarkable ways. One of the first creatures I encountered here was the lanternfish, which glowed faintly with bioluminescence. Bioluminescence is the ability of an organism to produce light, and it's a common trait among deep-sea creatures. Lanternfish use this glow to attract prey or communicate with others of their species in the dark. As I descended further, the world around me grew more mysterious. Gigantic squid drifted through the water, their long tentacles trailing behind them like ribbons. The colossal squid is one of the largest known invertebrates on Earth, with eyes the size of dinner plates to help them see in the deep, dark waters. They are elusive creatures, rarely seen by humans. Yet down here, they are the rulers of the depths. Suddenly, the stillness of the deep ocean was broken by the slow, rhythmic movements of something much larger. Emerging from the darkness was a creature so magnificent and awe-inspiring. It took my breath away. A blue whale. These gentle giants are the largest animals to have ever lived on Earth, even bigger than the largest dinosaurs. A full-grown blue whale can reach lengths of up to 100 feet, and its heart alone can weigh as much as a car. Despite their immense size, blue whales feed almost exclusively on krill, tiny shrimp-like creatures, consuming up to 4 tons of them per day. Seeing this magnificent whale drift gracefully through the water, I was reminded of how interconnected all life is. From the tiniest plankton to the largest predator, the ocean's ecosystem is a delicate balance. The blue whale's very existence depends on the health of the microscopic krill populations, which in turn rely on the phytoplankton they feed on, an intricate web of life. The journey took an eerie turn as I ventured further into the deep ocean, beyond the twilight zone, into the pitch-black absolute depths. Here, the pressure is so intense that few creatures can survive. Yet life persists in the most extraordinary forms. The creatures here are otherworldly, some looking like they belong in a science fiction movie. There were anglerfish, with their grotesque, toothy jaws and the eerie glowing lure that dangles from their heads to attract prey. The male anglerfish, in a bizarre twist of evolution, is much smaller and fuses itself to the female for life, providing her with sperm in exchange for nutrients. As I drifted further, I noticed strange, tubular creatures drifting through the water. These were siphonophores, colonial organisms that can grow up to 130 feet long, making them some of the longest creatures in the ocean. They are made up of individual organisms, each with a specialized role, working together as one entity. The deep sea is full of creatures with adaptations that seem almost magical. Creatures that produce their own light, live in complete darkness, and survive in one of the harshest environments on Earth. But life in the deep isn't just about strange creatures. The ocean floor is dotted with hydrothermal vents, essentially underwater volcanoes, that spew superheated, mineral-rich water into the frigid depths. Around these vents, entire ecosystems thrive, independent of sunlight. Instead of relying on photosynthesis like most life on Earth, these ecosystems are powered by chemosynthesis, a process where bacteria convert chemicals from the vents into energy. Giant tube worms, clams, and shrimp cluster around these vents, thriving in an environment that would be lethal to most organisms. As I began my ascent back toward the surface, I passed through layers of life, each more incredible than the last. The deep ocean gave way once again to the twilight zone, then the open ocean, and finally, the bustling coral reefs. I surfaced, my mind buzzing with the wonders I had seen. The ocean covers more than 70% of our planet, yet we have explored less than 5% of its depths. It is home to the greatest diversity of life on Earth, From the tiny plankton that produce much of the oxygen we breathe, to the massive whales that roam the open waters. And while we have learned so much about the creatures that live beneath the waves, there is still so much left to discover. As I stood on the shore, staring out at the vastness of the ocean, I couldn't help but feel a deep sense of awe and respect for this hidden world. It is a world of beauty, mystery, and danger, one that has existed long before us and will continue long after. The ocean is a reminder of how little we truly know about our planet and how much there is still to explore. The sea, in all its wonder, is not just a place, it is a living, breathing entity teeming with life, waiting for us to uncover its secrets. And as I walked away from the shore, I knew that I would always be drawn back to the water, always yearning to know more about the enchanting depths that lie beneath.